discuss the repercussions and what it really means for some of the sugar players in greater detail. Atul Chaturvedi, the executive chairman at Shree Renuka Sugars, joins on the show right now. Atul, hi, morning. Good to have you on the show. Tell us firstly about this news. You know, the fact that there are reports emerging or suggesting rather that the government may allow allocation of additional 8 lakh tons of sugar for ethanol production. Do you see merit in these reports? And I mean, have you heard any formal notification in this regard?
A very good morning to you. In fact, I haven't heard any official notification to that effect. But what we've seen from the Bloomberg reports and all, that the government is deciding or probably planning to allow another 800,000 tons of sugar diversion. But having said that, I think the crushing season is more or less over. It's at the fag end of the crushing season. So whatever extra B-heavy molasses have been lying with the mills, that will get diverted to ethanol because the molasses cannot be converted back into sugar. So my take would be that the overall sugar production in the country would be probably marginally in excess of 32 million tons. And the sugar diversion, which was earlier capped at around 1.7 million tons by the government, might actually end up being about 2.3 or 2.4. Yeah? Hello?
I got that point, Atul. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, very
okay.
much.
So just some more details in there, and thanks for so candidly, spelling out the numbers for us. If at all this move then comes into effect, will it be with respect to sale of ethanol already produced from sugarcane juice and B-heavy molasses before the ban that was imposed in December last year, or this allocation you suspect is going to be a fresh?
No, fresh allocation. It could be probably a mixture of both. Whatever extra had been produced will also now get converted into ethanol if this policy comes through, and then get supplied to the oil marketing companies. In any case, the oil marketing companies are still not able to maintain a 12% blending level, and that's largely because government had restricted ethanol to be produced only from molasses. So I think this would be a blessing in disguise, and probably a lot more ethanol could get diverted to the oil marketing company. So overall, if it happens, it's a positive sign, and it's a welcome move by the government, because otherwise it didn't make too much sense. We are in any case having a surplus sugar because our sugar production has been much higher than what was initially anticipated.
What is the outlook then, given that the sugarcane crushing has improved as the sugar season has progressed? Do you think that production will catch up significantly higher for the full year? Could the full year sugar production be above 32 MMT?
No, actually, during the month of August, when the rains did not happen, so the industry was a little too disheartened, and the talk was that the production of sugar in the country would be probably below 30 million tons. But subsequent rains during October and November have probably helped keep cane big time, with the result that now you are probably talking in terms of production in excess of 32 million tons. So this would be for the full crushing season. And the projections for the next year also seem to be now a positive note, because SkyMet has come out with the declaration that we could have a much better monsoon going forward. So I think overall it's positive for the industry.
Okay, fair enough. And now with this probable allocation of more sugar for ethanol, are you completely ruling out the possibility of a release of the export quota for this sugar season?
No, we would love. In fact, the industry has been asking the government to at least give 1 million ton more of sugar for exports, but we don't anticipate any action on that front, at least till the elections are over. So, June, we do not expect any action on that front. But an industry we certainly would like, because international values much higher than Indian values. And in any case, what we were anticipating is that at the end of the year, if the exports don't happen, so our 5.6 million tons of carryover might actually become anything between 8.5 to 9 million tons. So carrying excess sugar also wouldn't make too much of a sense, because 6 million tons of sugar is good enough to take care of practically 2.5 to 3 months of consumption. So that is why we anticipate some action post-June, after the elections are over and done with.
You know, Atul, have to discuss the consumer angle as well. What about retail sugar prices? Are they going to inch up higher?
No, I don't think this current diversion possibility will have any effect whatsoever on the sugar production and sugar values in the country. But having said, once the summer hits in, the sugar consumption actually generally goes up, and we could probably see a rise of about ₹1 or somewhere around that per kilo. So that I won't say is anything which is game-changing. So I think the consumer is heavily protected or insulated from the world values. Probably I would go to the extent of saying that sugar is the only sector in the country among the commodities which is totally inflation.
Atul, what is your understanding of the global crop cycle? You know, a couple of years have been literally all over the place, especially for a country like Brazil, which in a sense always sets the benchmark.
Yeah. So, in fact, Brazilian sugar production is not likely to come down. Last year was probably in excess of about 42 million tons. And with ethanol values close to about 15 cents. And so we feel that the sugar production in Brazil is not going to come down. And Thailand also seems to be producing much more sugar than what was anticipated. So overall, we do not see sugar in short supply in the world. So sugar, and the only issue is whether India would be exporting or not. India is definitely a swing factor as far as world sugar values are concerned. So at the moment, I don't see sugar being in deficit in the world.
Great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.